Hello and welcome. In this video, I want to talk a little bit about this chart. It is CCIV and it's a relatively new chart from September of 2020. And what I just want to discuss here, looking at the Wyckoff schematic charts, is trying to decide whether this is a distribution schematic, there's a couple different forms, or an accumulation schematic. Again, two different general patterns that often form. So we had this large rally up and took a fall here, made some attempts up, and then found a couple points of a new lower low. So I've drawn a support line at this area, and it's a little early to tell. That's why they wait a little while to print more lines. I'm in the daily time frame. But what we're looking for are these different tests that may go outside this resistance line or lower tests below the support line. Still early to tell whether this is distribution or accumulation, but if you look at distribution, the overall trend is we're forming higher lows each time within the trend channel. On accumulation, you're forming lower lows and lower highs. So this is a bullish downward channel. These chart patterns form over varying lengths of time. For instance, Amazon took about 10 months to form a distribution pattern, but these patterns happen on a larger scale and they also happen inside of these on smaller, shorter time frames. So on either of these charts, it looks like we are possibly around here. So we are making a test up, and it looks like in any of these, we're forming some kind of shoulder next. So there's going to be a down, probably another down, and then either a test up or a test at this support or this resistance line before we start heading back down. So what the news does in relation to stocks is whenever the institutions want the price to be brought down, they will preach doom and gloom and FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And that will help bring the price down, where institutions are going to buy it up right here. And then they're going to start preaching, oh, good news, buy this stock. And that's when they start sending it up. And then they'll do the opposite and do a markdown. And they'll start sending the price back down. So they're testing you this way. And that's how they put you through this roller coaster of emotions. Let's go ahead and look at Amazon. And this is where you can see in this 10-month time period, we went through what I'm considering a distribution schematic. Looks like it was likely this first one because I see a test out of this resistance line. Another thing you want to note when you're looking at these patterns is what is the volume doing? And what is it? Is it primarily selling volume or is it green buying volume? And what led this to be a distribution for me was you're seeing a lot larger red candles, which means there's predominantly selling going on, which is negative and denotes distribution. So just as you can't look at one stock to see what the entire market is doing, you can't look at one technical, you need to look at a variety of technical analysis tools. You need to look at a variety of time frames and keep flipping on a short time frame and larger time frames to see the overall pattern of where this came from and try to predict where it's going. So always be looking at multiple stocks when you're trying to evaluate the market, and always use multiple indicators when you're trying to decide if it's a good time to buy, and try to find patterns of bullish. Look at the bullish pattern formations, try to recognize those, and try to recognize what candle patterns are. So everybody learns differently. I know that was a really quick overview, but if this video helped you out, please like the video and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.